Hello, familia. Welcome. My name is MagdalineJanet. If you are new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Insta because I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to my oldies but goodies. We're gonna have a good time today. Shout out to Alexandra Alger. She asked me to do an everyday makeup look when I uploaded my favorite setting powder. And I constantly film it for TikTok, like quick get readies with me. And I'm like, why hasn't my YouTube fam seen it? So we got to do it. So you know it's about to get real when my eyebrows are not on. My eyebrows are always on. First and foremost, I did my skincare. You always want to use and wear some sort of skincare. I'll show you what I use. Anytime I put my skincare on, I let it sit for 2 minutes and then go with the next step. I don't slather it all. And it's been maybe about 30 minutes. I usually change up my brow products. I'll use this, I'll use this, I'll use my Got To Be. Today, let's use my Got To Be glue, like the glue. So I'm gonna get my spoolie, really like saturate my spoolie, and I'm gonna get the camera close so you can see. I'm gonna brush my hairs like this, let it sit like that, right? Usually this makeup look is when I have like maybe 20 minutes, so it takes about that long, maybe 30, depending on the day. It's not like a 10-minute makeup look. Now that it's been dried, maybe like 20 seconds, we're gonna go and comb them like this, right? I'm just getting a little bit of my cellar water and cleaning any glue that's up here. I like this laminated look because it makes my eyebrows a lot thinner. A lot thicker than they actually are. By combing them up and them sticking, you see how much thicker they appear? And then I'm gonna get my NYX brow pen and fill the sparse areas. Any bald spots you see, you're gonna get it in there. And I'm just putting all the pressure on my cheek so I don't go in heavy-handed with this pen. And then when it comes to the front, you're just gonna go lightly. Put the pressure on your face, like on my chin right now, because you don't want to put the pressure on the brows and they look super dark and too harsh, especially because this is an everyday look. And then I'm gonna get a pencil. If you don't have sparse brows like me, if you have thicker brows, you don't have to go with this step. This step, I just feel like it gives the brows an extra I'm gonna use the Benefit brow pencil in the shade 6. Give it a little more love like this. You could barely see the difference, but it gives enough difference to notice, at least for me. I'm gonna get my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in the shade Oatmeal. I get a bit of a lighter concealer because I want my brow bone to be highlighted. Instead of using a highlighter, I use a lighter concealer. You know how much I love Real Techniques brush. You're gonna blend this down to your lid. I have darker lids, so I like this look because it gives us like a faded look. Like we actually have eyeshadow, so I love that. So this right now is where things are gonna go a little bit faster. My brows usually take the longest because they need the most help, in my opinion. We're gonna get some Milk Makeup Sticky Primer and then add it onto the skin. This is gonna allow our foundation to stick down. I have the big one, but I want to use my mini one first. Oh, it's nice and sticky. You guys know I always say let your primer dry down. We're gonna start working on the lid. So I'm gonna use this Makeup Forever concealer. I love priming my lids with concealer. I think it does the best job. I'm gonna be using different products. Obviously, you don't have to use the products I use. I want to mainly just talk about and teach more technique and the reasoning why I'm doing these steps. So I'm gonna get some Oma Beauty powder, the same brush we've been working with, that Real Techniques, and we're gonna set the lid. I really like how this powder in particular sets the lids. I'm gonna get a blending brush. You're gonna get the bronzer you're gonna wear, whatever bronzer that is. Today we're gonna wear L'Oreal. I love a bunch of different bronzers, but I really like this one because you see it has a perfect tone. It's like a little bit neutral but a little bit warm, and we're gonna add this on the crease. You can make it as dark or as light as you want it. You don't have to put bronzer. I just like to accentuate my crease, and because I have high creases, I kind of like just how the bronzer looks. Anytime you guys see me review a foundation and my eyes are done, it's literally this. Which one should I use? My favorite brown Fenty or my favorite black Rare Beauty? Because it's every day, let's probably go with Fenty because brown is more of a subtle look. I love how this black look. This one just gives you more of that natural look. But I mean, the black does too. Okay, let's just pick brown today. Oh my God, there's an alarm going off, girl. We're gonna look straight ahead, create this line. We're gonna create the wing. As we're looking straight ahead, we're gonna go over these creases that I have here and fill it in. And then here is where you can make the wing as long as you want it. because this eye is a lot lower. The way we're gonna fix that, get some micellar water. Absolutely love this BK208 brush. Look how thin this is. It's like the thinnest you'll ever see. I've never seen anything like this thin. So you see how this one's up high? This is the eyeliner I want to match. Gonna look straight ahead, clean this up. You can use a Q-tip also. Then you could tilt your head back so you can see what you're working with. This way, slowly, you're gonna bring this eyeliner up. With eyeliner, you really wanna get into this crease because you can easily have those spaces between your lashes. Then you wanna look up. How do the wings look? You see them when your eyes are open? Yes, you see? Next up will be some poreless putty primer, and we're gonna hit it right here in the middle because I do have big pores. I really love this primer. Again, we're gonna wait for the primer. Now we're gonna use this L'Oreal mascara. I use this mascara to give me length. While your lashes are still wet, you're gonna go in with your volumizing mascara. I'm going in with Rare Beauty. Tarte mascaras are good too for volume. No, I don't wear falsies, so this is how we gonna do it. And then because you double up and I have very fine lashes, sometimes it could get a little clumpy. I'm gonna get my Real Techniques little brush thingy and separate them. All right, next is a little bit of highlight. You guys know how I feel about highlight. I have oily skin, but I love this Halo Glow from e.l.f. It gives you a natural radiance to the skin. It doesn't really make you look oily or like gastada. And I like to just spread it out and blend it out with my finger. Now I like to use my hands a lot when it comes to makeup application. You will get the best application. It helps with longevity because it thins it out so well. At the same time, it's blending it out on your skin with the warmth of your skin. Your body be hooking you up, especially your hands with makeup, you know? Yesterday, I just went out like this with just using this and I set with powder and oh my God, my skin looks so good. Okay, of course, we're gonna let this dry. In the meantime, the House foundation has been my favorite because it provides coverage. It's not heavy. It sticks down to the skin. It lasts all day. So this is my jam. I also like any sort of BB cream, skin tint. If you have that for like an everyday look, I would recommend that too. So I'm in the shade 330. I've gotten a lot of questions on my shade and I am in the shade 330 because it's a neutral warm olive and that goes very, very well with my skin tone. My body is a lot darker than my face, as you can tell. And I like to match my foundation with my body. My face is just gonna be light. I like everything to match together. I do not want my skin or my face to look lighter. You know, I have beautiful brown skin. If you ever have a foundation that's too light, you can always use either a lighter foundation to lighten it up or a white pigment like this or a white concealer to just put a dot and it will lighten the foundation up. This foundation doesn't oxidize too much. It does oxidize, but not that much. I always like to apply with my fingers first. This allows us to get an even and a thin layer. You can also use like a paddle brush like this to give you like that thin layers, but you just put foundation like on a brush like this and just start like here. There's gonna be a lot of product that's sitting here and not as much on the face. When you are applying it, you get the most out of your product like this, and then you could go in with your brush. So this is a BK101 brush. I love these brushes. You can get whatever remains and start buffing. This one I'm gonna go down to my neck, and you can either use a sponge, a brush, whatever you like. I like a brush and a sponge. Get whatever remains. Make sure you have good amount of product on your sponge and your sponge is damp, not wet and not dry. And you're gonna start tapping this in. This is gonna give you that natural look. It's gonna help with longevity. Your foundation isn't melting off. You don't have patches and everything's even. You guys know how I feel. I like to let my foundation dry down a little bit. For everyday makeup, I don't cream, blush, or bronze, but I do cream color correct. I like my under eyes to look a certain way. So my brows and my under eyes is what I take not a long time, but the most time when I'm doing my everyday makeup. The Huge, I'm gonna get my Sephora brush, number 71. We're gonna tap it here. If you don't have a lot of discoloration, or if you don't use color corrector, you don't have to, you can definitely skip the step. So what color corrector does, it's gonna even out the darkness you have. I have purples and blues, so yellow cancels that out. You see, you can't see the discoloration anymore. And again, with my sponge or my finger, I can do this motion, or I can just grab the sponge and even it out. Again, we're gonna thin out these layers because I have very creasy under eyes. I can't have a lot of product there because at the end of the day, it just looks a hot mess. So we start in the morning, make sure everything's good, well put together, and then we don't look ourselves at the end of the day. Okay, we're gonna go in with the full coverage concealer, the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I really like this concealer. I mean, I like a lot of concealers, honestly. I'm gonna add a little bit here. And I'm in the shade Soft Beige on this one. And then we're gonna blend, tapping, and then I like to blend up. You see up here, and it gives us a lifted look. See that harsh concealer I have up there? I'm gonna bring it up and then blend it out here. Makeup, especially if you're new with it, take your time. This way you learn how to do your face, you learn what works for you, you learn what you like, what blends well, what doesn't. Instead of rushing every time and then you not liking it, taking your time allows you to learn, you know, and be like, oh, this works, this doesn't. So that, I do that a lot. Even now, like I wear makeup every single day, but there's sometimes I have bad makeup days, and there's sometimes things just didn't come out how I wanted them to. And a lot of times it's because I'm rushing, or I'm not giving things time to dry down, or doing something that I know I should be doing, but I don't, you know? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go in with 2 setting powders because you guys know I love setting powders. So setting powders is a game changer. Skin looks cool, right? It looks cute, cool. We're gonna get in some Derma Blend, right? Powder Puff. I love how a powder puff sets the makeup. It will give you the nicest blur ever. The sponge is a close second. I really like how it sets the skin. However, you can have good days and bad days and not even know what happened to the bad days with the sponge. Sometimes I'm like, dang, it didn't set like that exact crease I wanted to set, but the powder puff always does. Yes, it's very specific, but you know, that's how we do here. You're gonna wanna look up, get rid of your creases, have color corrector, we have concealer. You're gonna look straight ahead, and you're gonna set this way. Looking straight ahead allows you to set the way your eyes will naturally be looking and kind of sitting all day. So it's like you do this motion. It's funny because I explained this to my friend. You want to set looking straight, look up really quick, and then look back down, where you're going to have your under eyes looking bomb and nice and smooth. If you feel like you have too much powder, you can get your sponge and do the same motion. Look straight ahead, look up, back down. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty pink powder. I know it's sold out, but I do have the banana bread powder. That's a good powder too. I haven't used this one in a long time. That's why I'm using it. But any sort of setting powder you like will do. I would use my Derma Blend too. Get, again, the same powder puff. We're gonna start setting the face, doing the same motions. If you have oily skin, tap it in like this. You're setting it, making sure this cream is not gonna move. And you wanna press it in, like doing this pressing motion. You can do it like slower. I do it really fast. You're just tapping. You're not just like buffing on, no. You're tapping, making sure you're locking this in. So if you're like, dang, it looks a little bit too powdery or something, get a big powder brush with nothing on it, just kind of dust. At this point, you can add a little bit of a refreshing mist. I love this Rare Beauty one, you can tell. Oh my God, it's spraying. Dry it down, press in. Sorry, I forgot to mention, if you have dry skin, you can just press the powder in here on in your T-zone. And you can press powder in even after you wet your face. Just make sure you set down and you make sure that setting spray is dried down. You can go back in with your powder. Actually, let's go with the foundation powder. I love this Kosas foundation powder. You can grab it. Your skin's a little damp. Even it out as always and kind of just bring it here. This will give you such a blurred look. Going back with our bronzer we used earlier today, and we're gonna start adding it kind of on top of this. You see this cheek right here, this cheekbone, and kind of meshing it with the top of that ear and tapping in. You're gonna tap first. So your brushes, you wanna make sure your brushes are clean. You don't want a bunch of build it up build up product on your brushes because you won't get a nice soft look. It's gonna look harsh most of the time because you have so much crap on in the brush. So what I usually do when it comes to my bronzer and blush brush, I will use it maybe like 4 times and then wash it. I would wash it at night, and then overnight it should be dried up, I mean, not up, down, where you can use it the next morning. Then when it comes to cream brushes, I'll use it 1 time and wash it because cream just gets stuck there so much. With powdered products, you can go a little bit longer, but don't go like 2 weeks, because if you get patches, if your makeup is not as smooth looking, probably because your brushes have a bunch of built up product there. You know, we're putting our bronzer on, right? But then because we just sprayed our face, it could be a little bit wet. So your brush can grab some of those wet particles. You're adding it to your bronzer pan. You're hitting it here. So it all could just get kind of stuck. After you're placing the product like this, you can just blend later. Not later, but towards the end. So everything looks smooth. We're gonna get some powder and cut this cheek before I go in with my blush. This is just going to clean up this cheek area and make it look real good, real good. Let's use our Juvia's Place because I'm obsessed with this blush. Let's go with the dark pink though. What I've been doing lately, so my blush doesn't look super harsh, you wanna get it on top of your cheek. So my cheek is like right here. So you wanna kind of hit it, lift your arm, and just hit it like straight like that. I'm even lifting all arms, but I'm gonna get some off, kind of like that, right? We have that lifted effect. You could leave it like this. You know, your blush can kind of come around if you want it to. You don't have to. You can honestly do whatever you want. I just want to show you techniques and how things can last long. I always get questions on long lasting makeup, and I'm putting this powder on so we can clean up a little bit of the bronzer, of the blush, if you went a little bit too heavy handed. While this is sort of baking and sitting on the skin, I'm gonna go in with my LA Girl eyeliner. And look how brightened up these eyes look with this eyeliner. Now we're gonna tap this powder in. This is also gonna help lock in all the products. We're doing like a second sort of locking in. At this point, you can see like, am I missing something? Do we have a patch? So we can go back with the bronzer a little bit and probably go back with a little bit of the blush because it's so pigmented, just a smidge. Then I'm like, okay, looking good, right? These are some of my favorite setting sprays. I'm completely out of this one, but I have it, so I remind myself to buy it at the Sephora sale. So let's use, again, drying our bad boy down. Tap, 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 tap. You can go back with your powder. This will really blur that skin out. Let's do some highlight. Definitely worth a highlighting day. You know, I'm not big with highlighter, so I'm gonna get the pink and this one. Just kind of add it here at the top. Not a lot, because we're gonna naturally highlight since we have oily skin. Get the cupid's bow, get a little bit of the forehead, but the cheeks for me are like what makes it. All right, fam, comb the hair a little bit. We're gonna curl the lashes. This is why I do my mascara first. Well, kind of first, completely dried down and it doesn't get stuck to the eyelash curler. And also, if your mascara is wet, it won't curl your lashes as well. Then you can always go with your mascara and just top it off like. And the lips, you guys know I like a good nude lip, and I've been loving these Buxom plumping lip liners. I'm going to outline my lips with the creamy chocolate shade, and then I'm gonna fill in with the lighter shade, which is the shade High Def Honey, and then blend it in with the brush that Buxom lip liners bring. Okay, you guys, I have to add a lip gloss. Stone from Maybelline is my favorite. Also, NYX butter glosses are good too. So this is, oh wait, my earring. All right, fam, this is it. This is my quick everyday makeup look. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it helpful. I just really wanted to explain like the step by step, but once you get the hang of it, your makeup will be looking bomb. It will last all day. Something I really wanted to show you and really explain is going in thin layers with everything. It does take a lot more time, but you will get a longer lasting makeup look and a better result at the end of the day. With practice, you'll learn exactly how you like your makeup to look, how it looks better on you, how it lasts lasts better, whatever the case is, you know? Oh, we don't like to look gastadas here. Just going in these thin layers, taking your time kind of gets us our end result really good. Like I explained in my powder video, powder is such a game changer for blurriness, look, for like smoothness, for the actual look, for the longevity. It just goes with setting your face slowly but surely. So I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. You guys know we're always chit-chatting and hanging out. I'm happy to always do these tutorials for you. I will link every single product I use down below. So let me know what else you want to see from me. Thank you again. I love you guys so much. You guys are the best. Hey fam, just wanted to jump in here really quick and show you how the makeup still looks. It's, I don't know, 6 o'clock. I've had the makeup on since maybe 9 this morning. Ooh, you see? Looks really good, huh? Okay, back to the outro. Yeah, this is it, fam. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, spending a little bit of your day with me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my God, I had lipstick this whole time, you guys.